Good evening. Welcome to the Coffeyville City Commission meeting for Tuesday, January 12th. Tonight's invocation will be led by Mark Wilson. Please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
You bow your hearts with me. Our Father God, your name is holy, and you are sacred. And we pray to you tonight with thanksgiving. Even though all the world seems to be in so much chaos and hurt and pain, we are so thankful that we can depend on you, that we can call on you and we can love you and receive your love into our life. Thank you for the leaders, Lord, and particularly we're thankful for the young people. We're right across the street from a whole host of young people, Lord, that you took up in your lap and you blessed them. They are being challenged in so many different ways through this pandemic, but they are shining forth, and we are so thankful for that. And the decisions that are made in this room tonight will benefit them and help and encourage them. The teachers that are, I think, are frontline workers, Lord, and that you love them and you are calling them to yourself. We thank you for what will be accomplished here tonight because we know that you have power. You have resurrection power. It's in your life. It's in your word. And it will be in this room tonight, Lord, as we turn and look into your face. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Take roll.
Mayor Bauer,
Here.
Commissioner Maxson,
Here.
Commissioner York,
Here.
Vice Mayor Doan,
Here.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Here.
Moving to the consent agenda, City Commission meeting minutes for Tuesday, December 22nd, 2020, and 2020 appropriation ordinance number AO-21-01 in the amount of $1,240,808.78. Questions, comments, or amendments to these two items on the consent agenda?
I just have a few things. When we did our budgeting in July, we kind of changed some of the ways we did things, and one of them was the time that we decided on the distribution of the alcohol liquor allocation. So those entities that received what we decided on in July are listed here tonight. We have the Boys and Girls Club for $9,500. We have the Coffeyville Municipal Band for $4,000. We have the Coffeyville Police Department for $5,600. We also have Fort County Mental Health in there for $9,500. And those are, unless I've left one off.
Summer celebration.
Well,
Summer-
it's not out of the,
The allocated.
it's not out of
that's
the
right.
alcohol
Yeah,
funds.
alcohol.
Yes,
Yep,
yes.
yep, yep.
So those are the ones that we allow out of those funds that we are taken and we distribute among them appropriately. And then also in this one, we had Crystal Lake Fisheries. We had the rainbow trout, the lake at Stark Park restocked. And I know there have been a lot of people out enjoying that these last, especially yesterday, today, some of the good days. So that was $2,500. Yes, and then also, as they mentioned before, Summer Celebration came to us and for this summer, and it was $9,000. We also had, if you will go down Willow Street, between 11th and 10th, the ADA ramps were put there off of the college, and those went to Graham Construction, and we got the curb and the crossing and everything fixed up, and that's been needing to be done for a while, and that was $6,900. And we also paid our portion, the service agreement that we do to Montgomery County Action Council. And as you know, Independence does that, Caney, so forth. We all go in, and that was $25,000 that we committed to them for this year. So that, together with our payroll of $390,000, makes up just part of what we are approving in this appropriation ordinance.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? I will move to approve items 1 and 2 of the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Mayor Bauer, seconded by Commissioner Van Oster to approve items 1 and 2 of the consent agenda as presented. Commissioner Maxson.
Aye.
Commissioner York.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan.
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Mayor Bauer.
Aye. This time we'll take comments from the public. Any citizen desiring to address the commission shall be recognized, advance to the podium, state his or her name and address for the record. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes unless extended by a vote of the majority of the commission. The commission does not hear matters involving litigation or city personnel. The commission does not take action on subjects not on the agenda unless unusual or hardship conditions exist. Citizens may address the commission on agenda items as they are brought to the floor. Anyone like to come up to the podium? And now's your time. All right. This time we'll move into regular agenda items. We have the public hearing and special presentation and proclamations under this. We have the City of Coffeyville Years of Service Awards. I will read off names if we want to start. Come up front for those that are present. I think I have a list of everyone that's here. So Shane, George, you're the boss on this one. So Island Building, 25 years of service.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Social distance or semi-social distance.
Yeah.
Good? All right. Next up, Thomas Osborne. And he has Jared Powers, 25 years of service.
Yeah.
All right. Mike Shook, he's got 2 people. Don Onslager, Tony Lawson. Don has 30 years, and Tony has 35 years.
Wow.
Whoa.
Like this. How are you? All right. Good. Good. All right, Rocky Yale. Quinn's not here, so guess you're gonna have to deal with me. 20 years. Yeah. And Billy Cockman, he has 2 people. Tony Cazzo, 10 years, and Josh Meekum, 20.
Wonderful.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, everyone that came.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Blow Chris's ears out there.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
I know.
Mark, you can come back up now if you want.
Yeah.
You don't have to sit in the corner.
Yeah. The crowd cleared out. So it's that time of year again for commission business. Tonight we're going to select a mayor to serve until January 11th, 2022. We'll also be selecting a vice mayor to serve until January 11th, 2022. So that is done by the commission as a body. So do we have a nomination number 1 to serve as mayor till January 11th, 2022?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to nominate Anne Marie Van Oster to serve as mayor for the city of Coffeyville to January 11, 2022.
I'll second that.
Are there any other nominations? Commissioner York nominated Anne Marie Van Oster to serve as mayor of the city of Coffeyville until January 11th, 2022. Commissioner York.
Aye.
Mayor Bauer.
Aye.
Commissioner Maxon.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan.
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Feels a little awkward.
That is
It feels a little awkward to vote for yourself, I know.
like, aye.
All right, so at this time, we'll select a vice mayor to serve until January 11th, 2022. And I'll nominate Justin Doan.
I'll second that.
Mayor Bauer nominated Justin Doan, seconded by Commissioner York, to serve as vice mayor of the city of Coffeyville to January 11th, 2020. Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
Commissioner York.
Aye.
Commissioner Bauer.
Aye.
Commissioner Maxon.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan.
Abstain.
All right, we get
Oh,
to
we
shuffle
Yeah,
sheets.
it's
We have to shuffle?
Yes, yes.
So
You wasn't gonna change the vote.
you're,
I'm not gonna say aye.
I think it'll just take a second.
Yeah.
We only have to change 3 seats, so we're good.
Hi, Tracy. You might have to lower that chair a little bit.
I was gonna say. Yeah, sorry.
I have to cross that out now. You have to find my old plate.
Yeah.
I have one around here somewhere.
I do want to say real quick, thank you, Paul, for your
Yes.
service as mayor. You've been an outstanding mayor.
Yes, you have.
and,
Thank you.
And
really
you
appreciate it.
total
Yes.
a lot
Yeah.
of years.
Yep.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Done good. Okay. We move on to new business. We have Resolution R-21-01 to approve the recommendation to KDOT for engineering services on the 2023 pavement restoration project. Director of Engineering Services Thomas Osborne will make comments.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. This year is a little different than normal because we still haven't received our KDOT grant documents. So because of that, the only thing we can do right now is, the reason we're moving this forward is so that we can let the engineers that applied and submitted, hey, this is our direction that we're going. But we can't sign anything. That's why there's no agreement or anything to go along with this. That will come once we get the KDOT agreement, and then it'll be a 3-party agreement for engineering services for this project. This project is the pavement restoration project located on South Walnut, or US Highway 169, roughly little ways south of 15th Street, and it's going to run approximately 1,000 foot south. That's what the grant money would get. We'd love to go farther, but that's as far as we could go with what funds we had available. It is for complete pavement reconstruction, so we would be planning to, with this recommendation to KDOT, they'll hopefully sooner rather than later start drafting the 3-party agreement so that we can get that started and get that rolling so that we can continue to meet their deadlines for submittals. But this would be for the design engineering, as well as it would take care of the construction engineering, because we do this by a qualifications-based selection process, which means we don't look at pricing. That's what's required by the state. But we don't look at pricing. We go straight and we say, send us your qualifications. Why should we select you for this project, or your engineering firm for this project? And it's based off that. It then they submit to us. We had 5 submittals. Those submittals went to a selection committee composed of the administration at City Hall, and then we ended up, for this one, we had a really close call with 2 engineering firms, and so we ended up having to do interviews for this one. So, but Olson was the one that we are recommending to move forward on. So, be happy to try to answer any questions. Like I said, with the KDOT agreement, it's kind of odd because we haven't received that agreement yet, but we're supposed to be moving forward so that we stay on their schedule still. So the agreement is forthcoming. It's caught up in KDOT legal, and I don't know how much you guys have dealt with KDOT, the government of KDOT right now. It's very hard. A lot of them are still working from home with the COVID and everything that's going on, so it's trying to get stuff from them has been very slow, so.
What other project was it Olson had worked with us on?
Olson, we also did the Highland Road construction, which hopefully we'll get that rolling. With it being Graham Construction, we're gonna try to roll it in right behind when they finish up 10th Street, so. And hopefully we'll be having some of those community meetings pretty quick too, because we need to get the people on Highland Road, let them know the phasing, because it's gonna be pretty substantial on the phasing to try to make sure everybody has access all the time, so.
So probably wouldn't happen, but hypothetically, if it doesn't end up going through and getting approved by KDOT, what are we on the hook for?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
It's a win-win,
All right.
sounds like. Good.
Okay. Is there any
We
other?
have received a letter from KDOT that's directed us to start this process, because normally it gets through and we'd had the agreement already. It's just, everything's been slowed way down, so.
So what's Olson's timeline to have all the documentation ready?
It's based off the KDOT one, so I don't really have that in my head right now. I know we're supposed to have a consultant selected and approved and everything signed by March, I think it's 21st.
Okay.
That's the next date that I have programmed in there to remember, so, it's kind of, like I said, we're waiting on the legal side of KDOT to get the documents to us so we can move forward, but by sending them this recommendation, the Bureau of Local Projects is hoping that they can go ahead and get started on the three-party agreement so that Olson can get moving as quickly as possible.
Very good.
Okay. All right, that's great. Any other questions or comments?
For me.
Okay. I'll move to approve Resolution R-21-01 as presented.
Second.
Motion is made by Mayor Van Oster, seconded by Commissioner Maxson to approve Resolution R-21-01 as presented. Commissioner Maxson.
Aye.
Commissioner York.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan.
Aye.
Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
Commissioner Bauer.
Aye.
Okay, the next one is Resolution R-21-02 to approve airport engineer selection for the FAA projects. Again, Director of Engineering Services Thomas Osborne will make comments on this.
Thank you again, Mayor, Commissioners. Every 5 years for FAA projects, they're required to do a QBS selection, quality-based selection for engineering services for your ACIP projects. So if it's not listed on your ACIP and in the submittal for the last one, you'd have to start the whole process again if you suddenly had some other engineering projects pop up. You couldn't just go straight to this engineer. So this is the 5-year cycle for this. We are looking to change who we had. We originally had, or last time we had Burns and McDonald. We had great working with Burns and McDonald. The big thing with why we're wanting to switch to Lochner is Lochner actually designed a lot of the systems that are currently on the airport. They have all the as-built, they have everything in-house, ready to go. And so they're very familiar with our airport. And we have a project that, because of COVID and everything else, delaying approvals, that we have to get in and done it has to be designed and bid out and contracts by May in order for it to qualify for the grants. So with that compressed timeline, we did all our submittals. With the compressed timeline, Lochner feels they're very comfortable that they can get it out. We've had great working with them in the past. They were, I want to say, 10 or 15 years that they were our airport engineer. They used to be BWR, and then they switched to Lochner. So this was before I got here, right as I got here, they were still the engineering firm, but they'd been that for a couple of sessions before that as well. So they're very familiar with our airport. Be happy to try to answer any questions. Like I said, that project was FAA has basically approved. We just got to get all the documents done, all the bidding done ASAP. So this will allow us to move forward and get work authorization put together from Lochner. We have to get first their submittal as well as run that through FAA. But that should happen within the next, hopefully, potentially, by the next commission meeting, I'll come with a submittal for that, trying to get that grant project going.
And then, do you come with us soon with the ACIP like you did?
Yes,
You've done
so
it
that's
for
in the
like
process.
22 to 26, is it? Is the next one?
This year, I believe so, yeah.
Okay, and so that will highlight all the future.
Yep, I'm working on that
Hoping.
right now.
Okay.
It's actually open behind all my staff reports. So, but yeah, I just got those. They're actually going ahead and helping us with that
Okay,
submittal. This process normally happens in October, but with COVID, it got shoved back, getting responses back from FAA on approval of our RFQ, or request for the statements of qualifications, so.
okay.
So I remember working with this firm back when we had them before, and they were always a good firm to work for. I mean, I don't know what kind of personnel changes they've had to where they changed their name, but they did a good job way back when.
It sounds like, I can't remember what Matt's last name is, but Matt and Chris Flagel were the two main people, and they've been here. They're very familiar with our airport. And Matt was on the design team that did a lot of the stuff on the airport, and he's moved up in the company. Chris is kind of the project main that we had out here for those projects with Lochner, so.
Very good.
All right.
Yep.
Okay,
There are no further questions. I'll make a motion to approve resolution R21-02 as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Commissioner York, seconded by Vice Mayor Doan to approve Resolution R-21-02 as presented. Commissioner York,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan,
Aye.
Mayor Van Oster,
aye.
Commissioner Bauer,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxon.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Thomas.
Thank you, Thomas. Okay, next item on the agenda is action to approve the stadium agreements with the Coffeyville Community College and USD 445. City Manager Mark Hall will make comments on this.
Mayor, Commissioners, what you have, thank you. What you have before you is a lease agreement which expired in June of 2020. It is one of those in discussions with the college. Would like to renew that lease just for a one-year term while we further discussions and come up with the solution that both parties agreed to. So that is your first lease agreement. That is just leasing the stadium. It's putting that they are the lead, have the lease, and they control. We work together, and that leads to the next agreement. The next agreement is basically, it's a cooperation agreement, but I would summarize it as a maintenance agreement. That's there's three parties involved in this. It is one with the school, but then, with the college, and then the school comes into it. Those are shared. It is one of those, basically a third of any operating expenses for the stadium. This is also a 1 year. It is also a 1 year agreement. There will be many discussions with the college, with the school, going through 2021. So that way something can be reached, everything, worked out, but it does not obligate the commission or agree to 5 years or whatever down the road. So we will be talking with the school. The commission will, at some point, pick 2 representatives. In that way we can meet with this and just discuss, and then those 2 representatives from the board and from the commission will go back and inform the commission of the discussions. That will all be done in public when an agreement has come to. So there's a lot of things, but this basically just has both agreements for 1 year and no longer. So if there's any questions, I'd be glad to answer those.
If there are no questions, I'll move to approve stadium agreements with the Coffeyville Community College and USD 445 as presented.
Second.
Yeah, you did.
Motion is made by Commissioner York, seconded by Commissioner Maxon to approve stadium agreements with Coffeyville Community College and USD 445 as presented. Vice Mayor Doan,
Aye.
Mayor Van Oster,
Aye.
Commissioner Bauer,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxon,
Aye.
Commissioner York.
Aye.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is comments from our city manager.
Congratulations, Mayor Van Oster. I believe, to my understanding, there's a family of mayors or something like that.
Oh,
Is there a mayor in your family before?
yes.
Okay. Anyway, it is one of those that I will say that this is going to be a busy year for the city of Coffeyville. You as a commission, we have a lot of things to do. We will be moving on several strategic plans. Commissioner Maxon, we will have that economic. It is one of those, as we make sure those things get finalized, then we'll start bringing in and showing the direction that we want to go. So that's coming up. There is several things. We're going to have to address the airport situation. That's coming up. We also will keep moving forward. Right now, I think things are starting to move forward on the CVR expansion. Casey's, we haven't heard anything from Casey's, just to bring that, so your attention. But I expect we'll know something very soon going forward. But you do have a very busy year. In fact, your next meeting, there will be a great announcement. Not to spoil things, but GRDA will be here. I keep on saying next. I mean the next to the next meeting. So just clarify.
Thanks for the, yeah.
I'm
There's
just-
next and there's
I'm
really
just,
next.
just going to clarify, it's the next to the next
and there's
meeting.
next.
But it is one of those that, there's a lot of good things that are coming this year. We're going to fight through COVID employees. We have developed a system with the work of department heads on complying with CDC guidelines with Montgomery County of getting employees back to work. We are considered not only first responders, but critical infrastructure workers. It is one of those, there are certain things that they recommend that we can do. I say that simply because we have seen that uptick, and there's been a question, what is the safety of our infrastructure? Are we going to have safe water? Are we going to have electricity? The department heads have worked long and hard on this, and it is one of those, we will always protect the employee, but because of quarantining and these things, if they're sick, they will not be able to work. But in the quarantine, there's certain things that the CDC and Montgomery County has allowed that we can do. So, guaranteeing everybody we're going to protect your water, your toilets will flush, and you'll be able to turn on your lights. Now, I don't know about the sanitation, but we can give them a call and say, hey, keep up the good work. So, there's a lot of things this year. I think it'll be an exciting year. Maybe not so much that you can actually put your hands on, but it'll be laying the groundwork to the future of Coffeyville. So I'm looking forward to it. Staff is doing tremendous things in trying to stretch dollars and get the work done, even being shorthanded. So I'm excited, and if there's any questions, I'll be glad to answer those.
Anybody have any?
Nope. No
Okay.
questions.
Then we'll move on to comments from commissioners and staff. I just have one, and Thomas, since this is your project that you've been heavily involved with, I know today Melissa put out on Facebook about the closures of the street related to Highland Road because of what they're doing. If you wouldn't mind coming up, and so you could kind of explain that, what and when they will be, and what you're doing for that.
Yeah, so Highland Road, we had a late start date of March, I believe, so the plan that's the latest that he should be starting. So it's going to be happening really quick. The plan is to reconstruct Highland Road from First Street all the way to where it connects into Norwood, including that large triangular intersection there. So as part of that, we're going to completely tear out the street, tear out the curb and gutter, and fully replace everything, similar to how we did on Wilshire 3 or 4 years ago now. We plan to take out all the street this time because we found we had some issues in the middle of Wilshire with just the milling down and then putting the new in. We still had some base issues in the middle that did not get caught at the stopping point there at Midland. So this would take all that. And in order to do that, because Highland Road is a very narrow street, we are actually planning to phase it to where we're doing half at a time, but we're actually building out of a temporary road essentially on the east side of Highland. This would be put in for construction, and then when they get ready to do the sidewalk portion, because we are putting sidewalk from that whole distance on the east side, they'll remove that out and put everybody's yards back in to where they were with the new sidewalk in there. This way we'll have essentially one-way traffic and parking so if you're on the west side of the road and we're doing that side, you'll have parking on probably the gravel. It'll probably be northbound for that phase anyway. I'm trying to go off from memory here. So you go northbound for that phase, you'd have parking on that gravel temporary surface and then still have access to the driveways. I believe is how we have it planned still for the actual homeowners, so they could be able to park in the driveways, and then the street parking would be more for your neighbors across the street. And then when we do the east side of the street, you'll be able to access to your driveways on that temporary road for the east side, and then they'll be able to get into their driveways because they'll be completed at that time. And that would keep the main new pavement as your main thoroughfare, really. So that's kind of the phasing. We're planning to have a community meeting for those in that area, and before that, just to help with coordinating how we're doing doing the phasing, making sure that there's anybody that has medical or anything like that we need to be aware of. That way we can, if something were to happen, we can make sure that whoever needs to get through can get through easily. We've already talked with the trash companies to make sure that the trash is taken care of. So on your trash day, we'll have, I believe, it was Graham and the trash company were working together on exactly what was going to happen, but I believe Graham will make sure, basically he'll make sure he'll either pull all your carts down, they'll dump it and he'll bring the carts back, or he'll make arrangements to where he'll just dump the carts and take it to the landfill or one way or the other. But the trash will be taken care of. It's, like I said, it's the 75 working days, I believe, is the plan. So hopefully we hit that nice clear window when it's not raining in April.
Yeah.
So, but we'll try to keep it as a minimum interference with the citizens on Highland Road as possible, but get their street back to where they can get in and out of their driveways without having rock tires and rock guards on the cars. So.
Have a much higher level of confidence with Graham Construction than some of our other contractors that have done road work around Coffeyville.
Be good.
Anything else? I didn't want to I wanted to ask about one of the streets you mentioned, though, but go ahead.
Okay, and then starting tomorrow on Midland, you're closing that. This is for water main that's in conjunction with that, correct?
I didn't see the post because I don't do much on Facebook, so very well could be. But yeah,
Okay,
we
7-8, Wednesday, tomorrow, it'll be closed till Friday in the afternoon on Midland Avenue between Highland Road and Warwick. And then Monday, the 18th, it will be closed at Midland Road. Highland will be closed there, and it'll be closed through Thursday, the 21st.
Yep. So yeah, that's for just like all our intersection projects. We want to go in. We don't want to rip up a brand new street because
Right.
the water main suddenly decided it wants to take a leak. Now, does that guarantee that it's not going to leak 3 weeks after we get the concrete poured?
No.
No, it doesn't guarantee
No.
that. But the likelihood that happens is much better that we don't have it happen by doing the replacement, which is what we've tried to been doing on all of the street projects that we do. We try to, if we can move it out from under the street, we've been moving it out from under the street, but you still have street crossings. So replace all those street crossings so they have new pipe, new bedding. It should be a good solid piece of pipe to get the water across and not have problems. So.
All right, thank you, Thomas.
So the only thing I was going to ask,
Yes,
so
go
we
ahead.
did Wilshire 4 years ago. Have you drove down Wilshire at that intersection? Where
It-
we did where we must have had a water line break and we did a repair, maybe? Because it's, maybe we've done something with it in the last 4 months, but I walked through there and
I
that
haven't-
intersection is,
I haven't been down.
it's very washed out,
Wilshire in
water
quite a
setting
while.
on it, and it's in bad shape.
It's that,
really
right
is.
where the worst part's right where you go to stop there, south side of Midland. And it's,
Yeah.
if you were there to watch the trash trucks when they come through, they pull up and stop, and you can just see that truck rock with that front, big heavy front.
Goes back
hopper.
to our other conversation about the right size dump, the trash trucks too.
Right.
So, Highland Road will actually all be, it's fully concrete versus asphalt as well,
Yeah.
so that'll
Yeah.
help as well.
If you will, just take a look at that,
Yep.
because it may be in a salvageable situation right now, but a year or two down the road, it may not be salvageable anymore. It's gonna have to be a tear out in an intersection.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it. I know we had some of the crossings were already concrete swells.
Yep,
but
you're
north
right.
South, I don't think was.
Yeah,
so-
there is, it's where the asphalt meets up with that concrete. It's
Yep.
really starting to
So, yeah,
get in
we-
pretty bad shape.
Look at get something fixed there, so, yep, I'll,
Just
get
don't want it to
with
get out of
Public
hand,
Service and try to see what we
since,
can do
like it
in-house
is a
or we'll
4-year-old
contact
road.
something, so.
Right.
So Thomas, while you're up here, we did, I think the other commissioners received it as well, an email from a citizen over on Third Street about a garage. Have you looked at that one?
Third Street Garage, I
I
believe,
1103, if I remember right. I
believe
drove
my-
down the alley over there today, and it's in bad shape. I mean, the roof's
I
completely
believe there's a
fallen
garage
in
that's
and-
basically on the ground.
It is,
Yeah.
It
all
is.
but the roof.
We've, so we're in the new fiscal year, so we'll be pulling, I
It's
believe
just
that's
sitting.
on the,
I mean, it's just, it's
Yeah.
literally.
So I
off
can
the
send
ground.
you a copy of that email
That's
if you
it.
like, that way you
Yeah,
can look at it. And
I couldn't remember the
Did you see
address,
it?
but they
Yeah.
copied one of my code enforcement officers
So,
on it.
I
So
drove it
it's on the
today, and
demo,
it is in-
it's on the list to get out there as soon as we can, so.
Thank you.
We are currently working on trying to get transferred to a new software as well as some other things, so. But yeah, I've got them working on putting together a list for the demo properties.
Very good.
That one's already been gone through court and everything, so it's just a matter of,
It
Keeping on
it
the
won't take
list.
much to knock that
No.
one down, but yeah.
just a matter of getting
No.
contract.
It's already, half the work's already done.
It's in bad shape.
It's bad. Okay, all right.
And the only other thing I had was, thank you, Thomas, was for Stephanie, and I didn't
Thank you,
know if
Thomas.
you want to talk about the sales tax and where we
Glad you
ended
brought
up
that up.
for the year.
Yes.
I think it's a wonderful success story.
Yep.
Would agree.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We did receive the December sales tax report. So we ended up the year with, let me look here, we were 4.62% higher than what we were in 2019. The exciting part that I sent to all of you earlier was that I believe our highest year in sales tax was back in 2006. We exceeded that point by just a few dollars. It wasn't much, but we exceeded that point. So
Right.
that's a good movement forward for Coffeyville. Hopefully we can sustain that going forward, and
Definitely.
so it definitely helps locally, like Mark said on the radio this morning. All of those dollars go back into Coffeyville, so what they're spending on sales tax dollars is spent back here in the community. So it is important to us to get those dollars. And just as he spoke this morning on the radio, we'll take all those out-of-town dollars that want to come and visit Coffeyville and spend their money here. We'll take all that we can get as
Take
well.
Take them too.
Yes, yes, yes. No, that's great news.
Yep,
Great.
very good.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Sure.
Yes, thank you. Uh-oh.
You did it
Now you done it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be a lot of steps for you.
I kind of still see the chief sitting back there. How'd we do on our fire truck?
Sir,
On your fire truck we had for sale, how'd that go?
it went great, Commissioner. It was $12,300.
$12,300.
Not bad for a 1980 year.
Yeah.
No, not bad at all. Where'd it go?
Went to South Dakota.
South Dakota.
Gentleman had it picked up, and he said Please check the antifreeze and make sure it's good.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
if it's
I bet
from South
so.
Dakota, you want them, yeah.
Okay, great,
It's good.
Thank you, Chief.
yeah. Okay. Anything else? Anybody have?
I was going to ask Thomas. I was out of commission for a little over a month, but I went down South Walnut the other day, and those train tracks are completely different.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
About a month ago.
If you're going to tell me it was 2 months ago, I'm going to look really stupid.
I want to go some on the 16th of December.
Yeah,
Area.
that is amazing.
They're actually getting ready to later this month do the big angle one.
Yeah. And it's a whole lot better. That's
Much better.
good stuff.
Yes. Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, no. All right, then I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Motion is made by Mayor Van Alster, seconded by Commissioner Maxon to adjourn. Can I see a show of hands?